I'd like to introduce Hilary from England, who takes LDN for multiple sclerosis. Good morning, Hilary.
Good morning.
Could you tell me when you were diagnosed with MS?
1990.
And how old were you, Hilary?
31.
Okay. A year younger than me when I first had my...
Sorry?
You were a year younger than when I first started to get symptoms.
Oh, yeah.
And what was your life like before diagnosis?
Absolutely brilliant.
Were you an active person?
Exceptionally active. I worked full time. I'd got an 18-month-old baby. Very happily married. A very, very busy life.
Mm. And what...
So it was a bit of a shock.
Yes. What symptoms were you experiencing which led to your diagnosis?
I had tingling in my little finger, which then became numbness, which spread to my hand. And that was the only symptom I had to begin with. And over a 2-year period, I was tested, had various tests carried out. Then in the October, just before I was diagnosed, within 10 days, I went from wearing ridiculously high 6-inch heels to being unable to walk without assistance.
Oh, goodness.
Very quickly.
Yes. And how did that affect your life, Hilary?
Well, the job I had at the time, I drove all over the country. I averaged 4,500 miles a month. And luckily, I went into hospital very quickly for a 7-day steroid treatment. And I said my objective was to come out of hospital being able to walk without assistance and to be able to drive normally, which I did do. The 6-inch heels were out of the window.
Right. And were you offered any medication?
I've been offered various things over the years, but I am very proud that I am drug-free.
Right.
Apart from LDN now,
Mm-hmm.
I take absolutely nothing else.
Okay.
Over 22 years I've taken short spells of steroids 3 times. And apart from that, I've only ever had homeopathic treatment.
Mm-hmm. Before you found LDN,
Yes.
what would you have rated your quality of life on a score of 1 to 10, and 10 being the highest?
Probably 8.
So it was a good quality of life?
I think, yes, I don't think it was a bad quality of life.
Right, okay. And how did you hear about LDN?
My sister met somebody who has been on LDN for 7 years with MS again.
Mm-hmm.
Was in a very, very bad way 7 years ago. And as I understand it, although I've never met him, he now is back working part-time and walks with a stick, which initially was wheelchair-bound, doubly incontinent, very poor eyesight. So life seemed to have turned around.
So how did you manage to get a prescription? Would your own doctor prescribe it for you?
My own GP, who was exceptionally supportive, said he knew nothing about it really and wanted me to see my MS consultant, who I saw, who I explained my reasoning behind wanting to go on it. I was involved in the cannabis trials some years ago with my consultant, and he said he would, if I was willing to give it a go and keep in constant contact with him, then he was willing to support me. So I started it last October, and he gives me 3 monthly prescriptions, and I saw him again last Monday, and I said, although I'd love to say I'm up and running and registered for the London Marathon next year, that's not quite true, but if anybody said to me, how do you feel? I feel stronger. I think that might be mentally stronger, but being mentally stronger, it then gives you the ability to feel stronger physically.
Yes.
Although I'm in a wheelchair, I've got a computerised bike. I go to the Institute of Conduct Education every Thursday for exercises. They noticed that I seem stronger, which is interesting to see that other people can see a difference.
Yes. Did you have any initial side effects?
Sorry?
Did you have any initial side effects?
None at all.
And how long would you say it took before you started to notice positive benefits?
I would say possibly April time. So you're probably talking about, say, about 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's very difficult to describe the benefits. It's just an inner feeling.
Yes.
But I think that's good, because I think if you can feel stronger and more positive,
Yes.
it's going to help anyway.
So what would you say your quality of life is like now if it was 8 before?
I think it's 8 to 9 now.
Right.
I think they're heading in the right direction.
Mm-hmm. What would you say to other people who are thinking of trying LDN?
Well, I think everybody's personal. I do feel that I have had those side effects. I believe if there are no adverse side effects,
Mm-hmm.
I have got nothing to lose. I've only got things to gain. So I think it's worth trying.
Yes. Well, I carried on improving for 18 months, so hopefully, fingers crossed, you will find yourself getting stronger. Some people find, their physiotherapists are actually able to get them to do far more than they were able to do before LDN. So it'd be interesting to see what you're like next year this time.
That's brilliant. That's interesting to know.
Hmm.
That's lovely. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your experience with us, Hilary.
Indeed. Thank you.